Heads up 20ups, it's Friday. I'm really sorry this video is late, but I've been really busy since Tuesday, and I haven't had any time to do anything about this, and I'm being really quiet right now, which is why I'm holding the camera so close, because my mom's upstairs and I don't want her to overhear me, and she knows I do YouTube videos and stuff, but I'm still, like, embarrassed about it. I don't know why, but I'm embarrassed to talk to her about it. So, hopefully you guys can hear me. This video is really late because Tuesday was my normal, way too long of a day to do anything, where I had class and open mic, and Tuesday's just my busiest day normally, and Wednesday I had job orientation, so I couldn't really do anything about taking video notes then. And then Thursday, I've been working on the secret project for the last month, and it should be done by the end of this month. I'm hoping it'll be done by the end of this month. And yesterday I spent all day working on that with my friends, and we had to get a bunch of pictures taken for it, so that's what we did all day yesterday, and there was a fiasco, so the 2 hours we originally spent taking the pictures didn't turn out because the camera never exposed the film to the light so it would capture the image, so it was just blank film all the way through, so we had to spend another 2.5 hours redoing it all. And that's why Thursday I couldn't do anything, and then today I had another 4 hours at work finishing up orientation, doing computer training and whatever. And after that I had to go to Walmart to get work clothes because I was told that I may or may not be starting tomorrow night on the overnight shift. So I've been not home all day, which is why this video is so late, and I'm sorry. James, in your video, you showed us you juggling oranges, and I was gonna splice a clip of me juggling in right here because I know the technique of juggling. I tried for a good 3 weeks over the summer how to teach myself how to juggle, and I was never like amazing at it, but then I stopped and I lost all the practice I had, so instead of being able to do like 20 circles in a row before dropping something, I can only do like 3 now, but I still... Where are my manners? I never even said welcome to the channel. Anyway. You talked about the Hunger Games, and that's another book that I have to check out too, because my friend had recommended it to me quite a while ago, and I just never got around to it, so thanks for reminding me about that. And I have a question for you. Where in northern Michigan do you live? I asked the Jins this question, just so I can like place a point on like Google Maps or something. TJ, you did that paraplegic for a day thing, and I think that's really awesome. I've done stuff like that for middle school, for like my homing careers class, where they were trying to teach you what it's like to have a disability, and you had to wear these weird gloves to pretend you had arthritis, and then you had to go out into the hall in a wheelchair and try to get books out of a locker just so you could get the idea of what it's like. And I think wheelchairs are fun to ride in, but I don't think I would be able to sit in one all day, and the fact that people who do have to do that every single day of their lives is amazing. I am not the type of person who would be able to do that. You also mentioned that you played bass in a band, and I too played bass in a band. I've been in multiple bands with the same people. We just formed, broke up, reformed, and then broke up again, multiple occasions. And each time I played a different instrument. The first few times I was on drums, but the very last one I did bass, and that one was like the most successful, you could say, because for a year we played like 7 or 8 consistent shows, and it was a lot of fun, but I had problems with the other guys in the band, so we broke up and we haven't gotten back together since. On to Jins. you talked about how you got the nickname Jins, and I've had several nicknames throughout my life, and some of them are really embarrassing, like all my family nicknames. They added a Y to the end to make it Cracky, and I had a substitute teacher who was my friend's mom, and she accidentally called me that in class once. And another one was Egg because it rhymes with Craig, and then that changed to Egbert, and then later on in high school, this kid started calling me Gregory to play off the name Gregory, and currently my nickname is Sea Rage. When that nickname came around, I didn't really like it, but then everyone started calling me that, and it just grew on me, so that's sort of my nickname now. You also talked about how you like reading the book before seeing a movie. And so you can imagine your own thing, and then that's why you think you're disappointed when the movie doesn't match what you imagined. I like it the other way around, because I like seeing the movie first, because I know that they have to cut a lot out of the movies in order to make the film, you know, in that time frame that they like to get it in. So that way you can see the movie with it all rounded out to be a movie, and then when you go to the book, there's just so much more detail added that you're sucked into the book even more. So that's why I like seeing the movies based on books first. Danielle, you were talking about how you had freak weather right before spring where it was nice and warm, and then it got really cold and rainy, and we have that up here in New York too, but it's a lot colder up here, so when you had rain, we had snow still in spring. It's insane. But and then you were talking about school spirit as well. I never had school spirit throughout high school. I did sports. I was on the cross country team, but I was never like full school spirit about it. I just did it because all my friends were doing it as well, and I just wanted to spend all my time with my friends and have fun. And now I'm in college, and I still don't have school spirit, and we have a pretty lame mascot. Our mascot is the Senators. I actually probably wrote that note under Rima's. No, not Rima. Lucy. I'm so confused. Anyway, I wrote that note under Lucy because she had mentioned that hers were the Beavers. And my high school mascot was a drunk guy, literally. I'll leave a link to an image of it in the description. It's pretty funny. Rima, you talked about how you were indulging in things you shouldn't have been indulging in, and I did the same thing after I had my appendix out. I wasn't supposed to do any activities at all. I couldn't participate in gym class, which sucked because it was the volleyball portion of it, and that's my favorite part of gym class. It was the worst, missing your favorite part of gym class and then having to go through the rest of the crap that you don't like. So that was a pain. And I wasn't allowed to go snowboarding either, but I got around that because I went sledding anyways. Mid-January, I had my surgery in December. It was 2007, December 2007. And in January, we were at my cousin's house, and my dad took a giant piece of plywood and tied a string to it. Not a string, a rope, and tied it to the back of a four-wheeler, a quad or whatever they're called, and you'd hang onto the plywood and get dragged around like a sled, and that was so much fun, but my mom got really pissed off at me for it. And also, after that surgery, like, not even a full week after I got out of the hospital after that, I had gone to a patent pending concert, and my mom got really mad because I was right in the middle of the mosh pits. It was fun, though. Okay, it's kind of a funny story. The book is way more in depth about, like, his school, his friends, and the reasons why he's stressed out and why he ended up there in the first place. And the Brooklyn Bridge scene is completely messed up in the movie based from the book, but that to me was such minimal differences compared to everything that went on in the hospital with him, because everything in there was like right on cue. Everything happened with the book, and so much so that I don't care that they took out all the details about school and his friends and that they messed up the Brooklyn Bridge scene, because I can understand that they had to cut that stuff out to stick to time, and it really wasn't that bad. And you had also talked about how me and TJ look at the whole suicide issue with To Write Love on Her Arms, and after I had posted my 20-Ups video last week on my main channel for my Vita video that day, I talked more about the reasons why it's so important to me, and I didn't go into it last week because I didn't want to go overboard with the time, because I could talk about it for a long time. But the whole reason I'm all about that is because 2 years ago my uncle committed suicide, and today is actually the 2-year anniversary of that. The actual date is February 10th, which is this Sunday, but today's the Friday that it actually happened on, so there's my notes under Lucy about the mascot thing. Anyway, you had talked about the snow manticore that your brother, I think you said, made, and my friend did that up in Burlington, where he goes to college, up in Vermont. When it snowed a lot, they went out and made a snow unicorn. I don't remember what they named it, but it was pretty funny. And the TV shows you mentioned, Legend of the Hidden Temple and Rocko's Modern Life, I grew up on those as well, and I loved them. And then you also mentioned Pete and Pete. When I was a kid, I never knew what those shows were, what that show was. And a few months ago, I came across it, and how everyone who grew up in the 90s knew that show, and I was like, I never knew that show, and I'm from the 90s, so I went and looked it up to see what it was about. The shows I did watch as a kid were Doug as well. My favorite of all time would be Animaniacs. I loved Invader Zim, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Real Monsters, all that. The Pink Panther was a really good one. I loved Looney Tunes, Digimon. A lot of these were from Kids WB. Men in Black was also on Kids WB. Jackie Chan Adventures and The Mummy both were. And there are a ton of others, but like I said, I was running really late and want to hurry this up as much as possible, so I didn't really take enough time to think about it, and I'm sure the list could go on for a really, really long time. Like I said, it's really late right now. It's after midnight, so I'm 15 minutes late getting this up, even though the date's still going to be correct because videos are uploaded based on YouTube time, which is out in California, so I technically have till 3 a.m. to get it up, so the date's still right. So I'm going to do that now. And I mentioned before I got a job, and tomorrow night might be my first night on the overnight shift, so I'm sort of half looking forward to that because I need the money really badly. So that's it for me. I'm gonna sign off here, and James, I will see you tomorrow.